When playing any class, the hero you pick is very important. Some may be very good for the class that you picked, and some might be terrible, and some may determine which class you pick depending on what hero you pick. So the best heroes to play Murlocs with is going to be Flurmet's Flurl, since every time you sell a Murloc, you're going to be getting one, so obviously he has a great pick for if you need variety. Pyramid is a good choice of hero for the Murlocs since he gives them health, and they lack in the health department. George is one of the best heroes in the game, but he's very good for Murlocs since giving them Divine Shield plus Poisonous makes for a deadly combination. Because Murlocs have the most battlecry minions in all of Battlegrounds, Shadowrock makes a great choice of a hero for Murlocs. Murloc Tidehunter will be one of the first ones you get, and Tidehunter will summon his little brother to help him fight. And since his little brother is weak as shit, feel free to sell him all you want. Murloc Tidecaller is going to be one of your cornerstone Murlocs because every time you summon a minion, he gains one attack. This is especially good to play before you play anything else. That way, every time that you summon something, he'll be gaining on attack. Very good for Murloc Tidehunter because when he is summoned, he summons another one. So he will gain 2 attack instead of just 1. We're going to buff him right there. This right here is Rockpool Hunter, the last of the Tier 1 Murlocs. As you can see, there are 3 Tier 1 Murlocs to choose from in Battlegrounds. The key to a successful Murloc run is buffing the hell out of this guy because he is very weak and needs the steroids very badly. Since he will be gaining attack the entire match, it's very smart to get his health up. Otherwise, he will die very quickly. Old Murloc is another Murloc that you can have on the battlefield the entire game because he has 1 attack for each Murloc on the battlefield, and when you get him gold, he has 2 attacks for each Murloc on the battlefield, and you can get his health really high and his attack really high, at least in the 30s or 60s. He'll be one of your heavier hitters early on. Old Murloc is best left on the left side of the screen because if he's on the far right of the screen, he will get weaker and weaker as each of his Murloc companions die before he has a chance to attack him, and his attack will dwindle down all the way down until he is weak as hell. Did you really have to do that? This is Murloc Warleader. He's going to be another staple Murloc that you keep on the battlefield the entire game because he will give all your other Murlocs 2 attack. This means he is the boss. Also note that you want to keep Warleader on the far right because if he attacks first, all your other minions will lose their 2 attack boost that he gives them. Don't be afraid to also buff your Warleader because he needs some health too, and he needs to survive a little longer, so do that as well. In Tier 3, one of the most important ones you can get is Cold Sight's here. When you summon him, you'll be giving all your Murlocs 2 health. He is one of the most important ones in the game, and it's very important that you get either a triple of him or just use Battlecry Trace for him. Elfin Navigator is just like a Rockpool Hunter, but he's smarter in the sense that instead of being a dumbass and only giving 1 Murloc 1/1, he gives the entire team of Murlocs 1/1. Why? Because he's on a tank. One thing you can do to boost your guys further is instead of just buying a triple right away, use your second one to give them a 1/1, and when you do this, you give them an additional 2/2. That way, you don't waste any battle cries. Oxfin is one of the most important Murlocs in the entire build because he's the one who gives them all poisonous. He is a toxic motherfucker and you definitely want to get him on your side. Harlefin is a coward who always calls for backup, so as soon as you summon him, you're going to be discovering another Murloc. It'll take his space because you're going to sell him right away and playing the new one that you just discovered. One of the things to watch out for with Murlocs is a board full of Divine Shield as well as the minions that attack multiple at a time. So this means that mechs are the natural enemies, as well as Reaper 4000, Wildfire Elemental, such as Cave Hydra, and this is where you die, because there's way too many high attacks with Divine Shield, and they just keep coming and coming. So mechs are the natural enemy of the Murlocs. Keep that in mind when you're playing against them. King Beerroll is only Death Rattle Murloc on the entire game. His ability is somewhat good, but this late in the game, 2/2 doesn't really do too much, and his gold version of giving 4/4 isn't really that much better. Having Brown on your board ensures that all your Murlocs will get their battle cries triggered twice, which is very good considering Murlocs have the most amount of battle cries in the game. So this is what a scary Murloc board looks like, with full poisonous and a lot of Divine Shield. And the Akair is just unstoppable. That's about all you need to know about the Murlocs. The Murlocs are a very fun class to play, but you have to be very careful of mechs and anything that attacks multiple times. Divine Shield is very important to have on all your Murlocs, and Poisonous is also the cornerstone of which you would need to include in your strategy. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below and I'll have my assistant Howard answer them for you. Howard is a dove. In the next video, we're going to be going over elementals, everyone's fucking favorite. Subscribe for more!